Now it's useful to know some terminology when we look at fluctuations in GDP. So let's look at the level of real GDP in 2005 dollars during the 2007 and 2009 recession. You can see that it went up, and then it went down, and then it went back up again. Well, this is the recession. And so a recession is when GDP falls for 2 consecutive quarters, or for a 6-month period. And that's a time where unemployment is rising and production is falling. Right before a recession is called the peak. That's when GDP reaches its peak. And you go through a recession, and then you reach what's called the trough, or the bottom of a recession, or when GDP is at its lowest. And then we go through the recovery phase, or an expansion. And so we have a peak, and we have a recession, we have a trough, and we have a recovery, or expansion phase. When we compare different recessions, we might look at how deep a recession is. In other words, what's the difference between the trough and the peak, or how long it was, or the duration, or the difference in time between the peak and the trough. Let's look at the recessions since the World War II. We have 11 different recessions, one in 1949, 1948, 53, 57, so on and so forth, up until 2007. And we can see the recession from 2007 to 2009 was very deep. The percent decline in real GDP was just as large as any other recession, and larger than all other recessions except for the one in 1973. In other words, we lost 4.1% of real GDP, and it lasted longer. The duration was 18 months. It lasted longer than any other recession. So by both measures, the recession in 2009 was the most significant recession since World War II. Now, a very, very severe recession is called a depression. And that's the common name for a very severe recession. And we've had depressions in the United States. The most famous one is the Great Depression in the 1930s.